Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Siti Shakira Mazhar and I'm from X.9 class. And in this video, I will tell you about my story, fractured story. The title is Rapunzel the Stolen Resource. Once upon a time, in the shiny kingdom of Corona, the people lived in plenty because of a miracle from the sun. The official story said that the king and queen used to be used to used a magic flower that could save the queen's life, and their daughter Rapunzel was born with hair that could heal. But the truth was much colder. The flower was actually a dangerous source of radiation, and Rapunzel was not born a princess. She was born a prototype. The king and queen did not see a baby to love. They saw a living battery that could power their empire and keep them young forever. Mother Gothel was not a witch, but the kingdom's smartest scientist. She was the one who managed the experiments on the young girl, watching as the palace doctors used Rapunzel's golden hair to fool the city's likes and heal the wealthy. As the years passed, Coral noticed something terrible. The golden hair was not a gift, it was parasite. It was slowly sucking the life out of Rapunzel's internal organs to produce its glow. Coddle realized if the girl stayed in the palace, she would die before her 18th birthday. In a desperate move to save the child's life, Coddle committed treason. She stole Rapunzel and hid her in a tall tower located in the dead zone, where the king's magical tracking signals could not reach. Coddle did not keep Rapunzel there to be mean. She was working on a secret cure to remove the magic from the hair, so Rapunzel could finally be a normal girl. She used the hair's magic on herself only to stay alive long enough to finish the medicine. Meanwhile, the king was furious that his power source was gone. Every year on Rapunzel's birthday, he released thousands of floating lanterns. To the public, they were a symbol of hope. In reality, they were a high-tech sonar system. Each lantern carried a trace of the sun drop's energy to scout the land and find Rapunzel's specific magical frequency. Eventually, the king hired a greedy bounty hunter named Eugene Fisherbird. He wasn't a charming prince. He was a tracker who was promised a huge pile of gold if he brought the asset back to the palace. Then Eugene found the tower and tricked Rapunzel, telling her that the lanterns were a sign of her parents' love. Against Cottle's warning, Rapunzel followed Eugene back to the city. When Rapunzel finally stepped into the palace, she expected to be hugged by her long-lost parents. Instead, the king and queen looked at her with cold, calculating eyes. They did not ask if she was happy or where she had been. Instead, they immediately called the alchemist to check if the magic in her hair was still strong enough to power the kingdom's grid. Rapunzel realized late that she was just a piece of equipment to them. Godel arrived at the palace, exhausted and desperate, trying to tell Rapunzel the truth one last time. But the king did not want his secret revealed. He ordered the guards to throw Godel from the highest window. As she fell, she looked at Rapunzel with tears in her eyes, whispering that she was sorry she couldn't finish the cure. The king then used golden shears to cut the hair. not to free her, but to harvest the concentrated energy before locking Rapunzel in her laboratory basement to be used as a permanent power supply. The kingdom of Corona remained the practice and the most powerful land in the world. And the people continued to celebrate of the return of their princess. They didn't know that the light in their streets came from a girl crying in the dark. Rapunzel learned a painful lesson that that the story told by those and power are often used to hide the truth. She realized that while she was told the tower was a prison, it was actually the only place where she was treated like a person instead of a product. This story teaches us that true love is not about it's about protecting someone's life, while greed is about using someone for your own gain. Sometimes the villain is the only one who actually cares. That's all for me. Thank you for watching and thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.